Hey, Focus fam, it's Focus Chan, TGIF. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. Congrats on surviving it and making it to the end of July. Today, guys, is going to be very interesting. Not only is it Friday, not only is it the end of July, but it's pretty much also the end of tech earnings, which, as we all know, it's kind of been the Super Bowl this week. If we just take a look at the earnings that we've had to deal with this week and really market shaking up here, because we finally got through Amazon. This week, guys, truly was our biggest week. We got through Tesla, Apple, AMD, Microsoft, Google, Shop, Facebook, and finally, good old Amazon. With that being said, guys, it's finally over, and now we really have to see how does the market react and kind of digest this news. Do they want to send us higher? Do they want to send us lower? If we take a look at the last week or two, leading into earnings, last time we were sitting here at all-time high, we had a very similar pattern that we're having right now. And that's simply just being in a 4-hour squeeze. Or last time we were in that 4-hour squeeze, we started to trend down, finally released, and we took that really big drop. In good old market fashion, we rallied all the way back. We rallied into this week of earnings. And since this week has started, we haven't really done anything. Right? We had that beautiful push last week, but for this week, we've just gone sideways, sideways, sideways. So just like last time, guys, if you look left, want to continue to allow this 4-hour squeeze to guide you in the right direction, where if it starts to break down, we know what's possible. Like what happened last time, that squeeze can release and we could take a nice trip to the downside. Vice versa, guys, if we just sit in this range for today into next week, we need to be overall extremely patient because this is just chop, chop, chop. If we take a look at yesterday, it was starting to look good. It was starting to look bullish. We were actually trending up, putting in higher lows, and tried to break out. And then, of course, Amazon reports earnings, and right back down we go, right to these zones that we had started. So for today, guys, very simple compasses to watch. One is obviously this squeeze. As long as we're in the middle, there's nothing to do. But as of right now, we do have some bearish momentum kicking in. So to start the day, definitely, no bias, but don't want to ignore the signs of potential downside. Another big thing I want to keep an eye on, guys, is this 4-hour cloud, or if I just clean this up real quick, you can see last time we were here, we had a really nice bounce, right? We bounced, head to all-time high after a big drop, kind of like we're seeing right here, where we could hit that cloud today and then start to bounce into next week. Vice versa, guys, of what happened when we finally broke through this 4-hour cloud is we had a really good sell-off. So today and leading into next week is really, really crucial. Let me just clean this up here. So you guys can see we have the bottom of this cloud, for today, if we were to sneak inside of it, pretty much breaking below Tuesday's low. So that's a really big level that we want to focus on here, is if we can break into Tuesday's low, that starts to carve us into the cloud. Another big level we want to watch here, guys, just a flip drawing sets, is a reversion to the daily mean, which currently sits below at about 43, 48. That's this little zone right here with an old point of control. So again, if we just take a look, this cloud really is all of the support, where if we do come down to it, it could stop here. But if it does continue to bleed, we can get to the bottom of this cloud maybe sometime next week. This would be way too much for today. If we take a look at the overall market right now, all indexes are fairly red and obviously led by technology. ES has an ATR of about 43 points, so already being down 30, just add another 13 points here. And you can see, guys, we don't really have that much downside left. Now, granted, we can see an above average day. That's always possible, but we want to use ATR wisely. So again, guys, anywhere in this range, just be careful for potential dip buy. Right? We could hit the cloud and absolutely explode. We could hit the cloud and melt to the mean and keep melting. Really just want to watch this important range here on the market with the cloud, with these point of control levels, and with that daily mean. Also watching that 4-hour squeeze to kind of guide us as a compass. So that's my thoughts here, guys. We are going to have a little bit of economic data this morning in about 30 minutes. So we just take a look here. It's today, the 30th. So we're going to have our personal income, consumer spending, and core inflation numbers at 8:30 Eastern time. So again, about 30 minutes before the, about an hour before the bell rings. This could shake up the market. As of right now, it's probably not going to be too big of a deal. We want to keep an eye on it. But That's my thoughts here, guys, on the overall. I will be watching SPX today. So just to take a quick look at SPX Chain, let me pull that up quickly. Again, I want to overall be fairly patient, but if we just take a look at some options today, again, we are down about an ATR, but we could see reversion to the mean. That wouldn't be anything, too crazy. This would be the last stop in my opinion, because this would put us down about, 70 to almost 100 points at this point. Not sure if that's warranted today. We're going to find out. But just to look at some puts here, guys, and to size some stuff up, if we do get a little pop back up to these key levels and then roll back over, I really like those 4370s. It just depends how much they cost. Other than that, again, don't want to go too far out here. But anything that kind of gets you to that 4350-ish range, so 4350s, are a pretty decent strike here. So going to let the market open, going to, see if we get the pop before the drop, or if we just open, go sideways, and then drop. That's really the most important thing here, guys. You can size up strikes once the market opens, but just have a sense of what you want to do. So what I think could happen here for the overall, and this usually happens every time we gap down, is we're going to see either a pop at open for some covering, which is kind of happening here this morning, and that pop's either going to lead into a strong move, or it's going to pop just to send us even lower. So with getting the little push here this morning, guys, really just want to be patient heading into the day to see, do we go sideways and go higher? Do we go higher and go down more? Or do we just open and start to dump? We're really going to have to be flexible here. So in regards to SPX, I'm definitely interested. Just need to wait and kind of. Apologize, guys. My cat just ripped my headphones out. Anyways, that's my thoughts here, guys, on the market. Size up SPX as the market opens. If we take a look here at YM, this is an index that you just want to keep a small eye on, where right now it's all about technology, but YM, just like ES, has the same charts here, the same patterns, the same indicators, where if it breaks this 4-hour squeeze, it can either head us to the upside or it can head us to the downside. Just like last time, guys. Be patient. We drop, we pop, we wait, and then we bleed. We pop back, we wait. Much like ES, guys, we also have a 4-hour cloud in play. So see if we head to it and bounce, see if we head to it and break through it. Really simple gauges here, guys. Just a little bit of patience. And then finally, if we look at technology, obviously the one that's kind of shaken up the most here. We'll take a look at Amazon earnings in a minute, but it was all about getting through Amazon earnings. Well, as you guys might imagine, it didn't go too well. Amazon actually missed on revenue, and they took a huge drop here that we will cover in a minute. But why this is important, guys, is NQ is going to kind of dictate what happens today. Does it lead us lower, or does it start to pop and drag us higher, or just keep us sideways for today? But a few big levels, guys, want to watch here on NQ are this low from Tuesday. This is going to be a huge level. And if you take a look at the daily mean, it's also pretty much right there, guys. I need to update the zone. I have it at 14,724, but it stepped up nicely to the top of this level. So this is a huge zone, guys, where again, we're kind of popping in this morning. Maybe we pop a little bit more and then head back down. Maybe we just, head back down, hold it, and then rip the rest of the day. Really got to wait and see. It's hard to tell what could happen today, but it really is down because of Amazon. So I want to be very mindful. Do they just sell us off into the end of the month here? Do they finally take technology down? But overall here, guys, anytime the market does revert, the first stop I always look for is that daily mean. Just like last time, bleed. It held, beautiful explosion. We're headed right back down here. Now it looks a little bit different because we dropped, and now we're almost making like a lowercase h for potential flush. So really want to see, guys, can we take out that mean, and can we start to head back down? Let me add a little level in here. Yeah, it's a good little zone to watch. I'm going to extend this. Make this dash so I know it's the daily mean. And that's our zone here, guys. So again, we'll see. Do we dip and get a bounce play? Or do we just kind of go sideways? Do we rip it open? Or do we bleed through these levels, guys? But with NQ, we want to be very patient because it's pretty much down in ATR. Let me just create the zone real quick. Boom. So about 190 point ATR, guys, down about just round up for easy numbers here, about 170 points. So say we got about 20 points left in the tank to the downside. And again, this is just average. We could see a double ATR day today. This just gives us something to base our thesis off of. So again, add another what, 20 points was it? Yeah, we're going to be pushing over an ATR. We're definitely going to be pushing over an ATR. Again, down about, 165 right now. This would be a huge drop. So want to be patient, guys, want to be realistic. Does the market have a real reason to drop? I'm not sure. We had some news come out last night where Joe Biden said, and let me just pull it up real quick. Here it is. Biden admin says they are open to returning to lockdowns if the CDC advises. That's a headline, guys, that we want to continue to keep an eye on. Obviously, no one wants to go back into a lockdown. We're all sick of that crap. But if that starts to get discussed, this week we've seen a lot of companies, a lot of colleges mandate wearing masks again. We want to see if this, fear, guys, trickles into the market. And if it does, then we're going nothing but down. So we want to be prepared for it. But with tech, guys, starting down, pretty much an ATR, again, it's really all about patience, where this zone here is critical. We could test it and hold it. We could test it and break it. Or we might not even test it today. We might just pop it open or go sideways. But really, guys, this is the zone you want to focus on to the downside, and this is the zone to focus on the upside, where if we just pop back and reject, I love a short back down. Vice versa, guys, if we just open and dump, be very careful chasing at these levels. These should guide us in the right direction today. So with that being said, let's hop in, guys. Actually, before we do, I want to talk about Vicks. Vicks is going to be very, very important to watch today in a very simple level, guys, of 20. Every time the market gets, a little bit fragile, 20 is kind of that breaking point where if we get to 20 and we go back below it, the market bounces. Where when we crack through 20, that's when the market actually takes a nice drop and it doesn't pop until we're back below 20. We had that little scare on Tuesday. All right, just to pull this up so you guys can see and remember. Right, so we had that drop on Tuesday, but VIX quickly went back below 20, and we've been rallying higher here. Obviously, this morning, volatility has crept back into the air. So really pay attention, guys. If VIX gets through 20 today and holds through 20, we're going to see something like this, which was what, last Monday? Where was this? Let's see, guys. I apologize. Where am I? 719. 719. So that was our last true drop here, guys, right? Through 20, we panic. That last little drop on Tuesday, we stuffed 20, and the market picked it right back up. So being at the same level here, guys, right? Same levels. If VIX gets above 20, we're going to start to melt down a little bit, just like we did here. Where last time we were here, right, guys, look how simple this can be. VIX below 20, market pops. If this pushes through 20 today, we are going to break that zone and continue a bit lower. So really hope that helps, guys. Watch VIX 16, watch VIX 20 through it. We got a party. But let's flip through a few setups, guys, and we'll just start with big Amazon. It's the talk of the town today. So Amazon, guys, obviously just completely bombed earnings. They were the last tech to go. We were really waiting on them. Didn't do good. Ton of downgrades here this morning. Everyone kind of cutting their price target, so that never helps. But just to read the numbers real quick. Where is it? Here we go. So Amazon, guys, earnings per share 15.12 beats the 12.2 estimate. So that was solid, but sales missed. 113 billion misses the 115 billion estimate. No bueno. Down she goes. So this is a pretty dramatic reaction, guys. The market maker move on Amazon, I believe, looking at it now, was about $84. So we just take it from close. And again, I don't know how accurate this was. It might have changed. But this thing is down a ton. Almost 300 points here at the lows. Crazy. Look at a daily chart, guys. Amazon's going to be opening right here. And this is a really big level to pay attention to because it's also the 200-day simple moving average, where every time we get there, we don't really go much lower. We kind of find our feet and then rally back. So this is something really important, guys, to watch in technology today, where if Amazon does bounce off the 200, tech's probably not going lower. But if Amazon somehow, drops and keeps dropping, that's really going to drag technology. But with tech being at the daily mean and Amazon gapping down to the 200 here, not saying it's unlikely we continue to go lower, but it would be pretty crazy to see Amazon, breach this zone and continue to bleed. Can it happen? Absolutely. I'll be ready for it. But just something really simple to watch here, guys. Watch that low on earnings and watch that 200 days simple at about 32.70. Really need to observe this. Personally, guys, whenever a name reports earnings, I don't like to trade it at open because it takes a little while for these premiums to come back down to earth. So just watch it for this morning. Watch if it holds, watch if it starts to pop, watch if it just bleeds. It's all about Amazon today, and it's all about this key zone. Keep an eye on it. Next setup here, guys, is Zoom. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put my cat in another room. My apologies. New cat dad. New duties in life. So next setup here, guys, is Zoom. And if we take a look at Zoom, this had a really good day yesterday. They got upgraded, they got through some good key levels, and they absolutely exploded. They ended up giving it back, but this is a really important one that I want to watch today to see if they drop the market on virus fears and if they go into names that could benefit from the virus, such as something as simple as a Zoom. Businesses use it longer, colleges use it longer, whatever it might be. Really just want to pay attention to Zoom. They got a beautiful breakout yesterday through this key zone I had, and it also broke through the 200-day simple moving average, this blue line here. If you take a look on yesterday's drop overnight with technology, it pretty much hit that 200-day moving average, and it also hit point of control, two of my favorite levels. And of course, we're gapping up a little bit here. Not quite gapping up, still negative, but this is the first one to watch, guys, for a bounce. Where again, even if the market's going down, this is a name that could go up. Maybe it follows with the rest of everything else, but as long as it holds this 380-ish zone, I'm going to look for a dip buy on it. It was very strong yesterday. It did give it back, but it could see that rotation again today. So keep an eye on Zoom, guys. If it starts to break below this 377, it is not valid. But if we can maybe, drip a little bit at open and quickly see bullish momentum, right? The accumulation should be very apparent on Zoom. It shouldn't be something that takes a while to happen. It should be, okay, they're afraid of the virus, market opens, they buy Zoom. If that doesn't happen, guys, be a bit weary trading it. But for today, I do really, really like it. So for now, guys, gonna really wait and see what strikes to play. We're gapping down on most things, so a lot of these premiums are going to change. But for now, just targeting anything from 390 to 385, just getting back up towards this little zone from yesterday. Could be a good bounce. Maybe it heads all the way back to the highs. I don't know. But if we can get a dip buy off of this, and it's very clear that they're rotating into Zoom, personally, one of my favorite setups today. Next setup here, guys, is Google. And personally, Google is one of my favorite stocks to play to the upside, but I will be keeping an eye on it today to the downside. This is a name, guys, where, again, we want to be patient because I don't know if technology is going to go lower. However, if it does go lower, this is a name that could really benefit from taking a drop. They closed at about 3 ATR. Last time at the mean, they just absolutely exploded. Every time, guys, it gets to the 3 ATR, it goes down. 3 ATR, it goes down. We're at 3 ATR. Let's see if we go down. So again, team, if tech doesn't go lower, Google's not going lower. And even Google trying to go green here today. Let's just look at these bids to make sure it's real. We currently have a bid here at 26.98. Hold on, 26.98. So yeah, as of right now, Google's still going to open red. These bids can change, but as of right now, these are just little prints. You always want to confirm with the actual bid itself. where there's an actual size, not the zero. So as of right now, guys, Google going to open a little bit negative. What I want to pay attention to, again, is if technology starts to roll over, I think Google could have a really good rollover. We could see some panic with Vicks. We could see some selling into end of month, and we could see some profit taking on a name that hasn't stopped since last Monday. Reported great earnings, and they're up on it. So for this one, guys, again, be patient. I hate to, try and short one of the strongest technology stocks, but if tech takes a drip, this is going to be one that offers some decent opportunity. So again, for strikes, guys, got to be flexible here. But for Google, we have about a 50-point ATR, call it. Just assuming this thing drops 50 points, it gets us down towards 2660. And honestly, guys, could see more than 50 points. So just to size up some strikes here. Let's see, 2660 is a decent range. Really, guys, gonna have to see what these open at. But anything in that $1 to $2 range that can actually be reached is something that I'll be considering. But need to see what happens and where it opens. If the 2700s are cheap enough, that's the best put strike here, especially if we bounce a little bit and then roll over. Really like those 2700 puts. Something to keep an eye on. And then last setup here, guys, is Tesla. Tesla was really, really strong yesterday, had some positive news, and just exploded. This is another name where if the market does bounce today, this is personally probably my favorite name to look for a bounce. I like the Zoom bounce. I like the Tesla bounce. I like the Google short. As you guys are seeing, kind of prepared for either scenario today. Just want a few names on the list. So Tesla had that big, big pop yesterday. Super, super strong. And they're trying to fire a little daily squeeze here. If we zoom out big picture, this might not be in play today, but they're also setting up a weekly squeeze. So regardless if Tesla does anything today, guys, I would keep this one on your radar. Slowly but surely starting to get ready for a big move, I think. But just to talk about it for this morning, if we take a look, had this 666 level, good old devil, last night. We held it, we popped, and now we're just kind of consolidating. So going to be patient on Tesla, guys, but if they can just continue to hold that little 666 and this little after hour low, so we can just draw a little zone here. That's a really good dip buy level. Again, we want to make sure everything makes sense and the market's looking good and Tesla has good strength, but this is a good dip buy range. If it breaks below 666, there's nothing to do on the upside on Tesla. But if it holds here, guys, it can work its way back up to these key levels and potentially even higher. I'm more so just looking for a dip buy to see if it can push back up towards 680. Be patient, guys. Tesla fails a lot, but it had a really good day yesterday, so we'll see if it continues today. Kind of same thing for Zoom. Really good day yesterday. Do they buy it again today? We'll see. We'll have to wait and be patient. But that's my thoughts here, guys, this morning. So again, just a quick recap. I want to be very, very patient today. We have a big gap down. We have a 4-hour squeeze. We have a 4-hour cloud. We have a lot of levels in play here. We could rip through it or we could bounce off of it. Want to wait and see, guys. Don't want to rush in it open. Let volatility figure itself out, and then we'll go from there. YM, same thing. 4-hour squeeze, 4-hour cloud. It's either going to drag us to the downside or help us out to the upside. And then most importantly here, guys, is NQ, which is currently stuck inside their 4-hour cloud. Do they hold the bottom? Do they hold the daily mean and Tuesday low? A lot of support here. So being patient to start the morning. If we pop and drop, that's great. If we just start to drop, gotta be very careful what happens here. A few setups, guys, to watch. Again, one is Google. Could be a really good short since it's super extended if tech gives it up. Really like Amazon just to pay attention to. Give it some time. It's a really good compass. Should either rip off the zone or bleed to the 200. And then really like Zoom here, guys, is kind of my big three. Do they hold that 200 and give us a dip buy back up towards 390? But that's my thoughts here, guys. Happy Friday, TGIF. Be smart, size down, finish the week strong. Head into this weekend proud of your trading and just ready to kill it again. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. I will talk to you in